I want to talk about the reason why most people tend to fail. And it's powerful when you really think about it, and I break it down and I help you to understand that a lot of times people fail not by lack of intelligence or it's not as simple as we make it. It's not as simple as we make it, because I feel like success, now that I look back on it, I feel like success has a lot to do with being able to be diversified in so many different portals of life mastery. It requires you to have a business acumen, a spiritual acumen, and that means sharpness, of course, we know this. I mean, business sharpness, spiritual sharpness, street sharpness, a hustler sharpness, a psychological sharpness. It requires like so many aspects of one's being. And a lot of times people think that success is just about the talent. And that gets in their way, because that really got in my way. That's what I thought, coming out here from Detroit and being young, 19-year-old kid, having no mentorship, not really knowing anything about the business except I want to act. And it took me a long time to realize that it's not just about acting. And sadly, after being in this industry for 35 years, it's just as of late, as of recent, that I have finally accepted that a lot of the challenges I faced was not understanding all of the components to success. Not knowing about the manipulative hustle things that go down, or the psychological warfare that goes down, the rejection and how that affects me and my psyche and my insecurities and what is triggering, and if it's triggering my abandonment. Like, all of those things are playing into everything. They're playing into every audition, every meeting. All of those things were playing into all aspects of that, and not understanding that, number one, and not having the capacity to be able to put those different portals into effect. Like, I didn't even know that they were alive and living, and most definitely did not know how to control them or use them. And I feel like that was a component of my success that has hindered me. And I'm just being vulnerable. I'm not really being a victim about it. It's just hindsight is 2020, and I'm sharing this just in case someone else needs to hear this. Maybe you're just getting started in the business, or maybe you're in the business now. This is a component that I feel like is oftentimes the missing ingredient. That's why this channel is called The Courage to Be, because in order to be successful, in order to be who you came into this world to truly be, I feel like it requires so much courage, So much courage to be yourself, so much courage to speak your truth, so much courage to live your truth, so much courage and audacity to have your own opinions and to dress the way you want to dress or speak the way you want to dress or just, succeed and have the audacity to say it and believe it and think it. It just requires so many portals that I feel like a lot of us missed, or I missed. I'll speak for myself. And there's a solution to that because now I know what's necessary. Again, that's why I'm having this channel and this platform about being courageous, because I know that I have to be courageous. We have to be courageous if we want to live the life of our wildest dreams. Like, we have to go beyond what we're presently seeing. And that requires a lot of courage. Because a lot of us have those limiting beliefs. I mean, we say we want it, but there's something inside of us like, it's not going to happen, or shoot, you're going to get panic attacks, or it's not going to work out for you, or what is this, that. We give into that, and there's this war, this friction, and oftentimes that voice wins. But I'm learning that the successful people, they know how to armor themselves up against that voice. That's why they get coaches, they get mentors, they go to therapy, they do the things that is necessary to quiet that voice. And most of the time it's to understand where that voice came from and to know that that usually is a trauma-related response. That voice is trying to keep you safe. It's trying to keep you small. It's trying to keep you out of danger. But it feels real, and it affects your nervous system. It affects your mind, that voice. It just shows up, and it could be debilitating. And I'm sure it happened to all of the greats in this world. I'm sure most actors and artists and politicians, whoever who's called to do great things, I'm sure they can attest to what I'm talking about. I even think about Beyoncé saying she had to create Sasha Fierce, this whole different persona, I imagine, to quiet that voice. It's like, no, I'm not you, I'm this person. And again, someone taught her that, or her intuition or her guidance told her to do that. So look at where she is. So that is just a powerful example of what I'm talking about. Like, there are ways around our traumas and our anxieties that can help us not self-sabotage ourselves with these thoughts and ideas and things that show up, these limiting beliefs. So that is like one of the ways that I feel like a lot of people are limiting themselves and bringing themselves down, and there's just ways to overcome that. I think that Beyoncé way that I just brought up is a powerful way. Just create this whole different persona. I'm Superman. I'm whoever this is. I'm this strong, powerful, mighty presence that is a billionaire. I walk like a billionaire. I talk like a billionaire. I breathe like a billionaire. I move like a billionaire. Like, to really create this strong sense of self, sense of truth in you. Because we're all kings and queens. I mean, we all are powerful and mighty and amazing and wonderful. We all are a part of this great cosmos. So walking around feeling that greatness it only serves you, and it only serves the cosmos. It serves the divine. And In my opinion, anyone who's telling you not to walk around with that level of confidence and swag, to me, that is someone who is a part of the limitation of you and your dreams. And I would rethink that relationship or situation. But another thing that has been coming to me is about learning to allow and let ourselves be happy. You know, I definitely, especially in this last season, since I started this channel, I was allowing myself to purge publicly. Like, I wanted all of it to be seen. I wanted it to be heard and experienced. I wanted to demonstrate to everyone that you can be you, and you have to be your authentic truth, even if it don't make sense, even if it's crazy, it's ludicrous, it ain't hurt nobody, and you ain't went outside of your mind, and you're not delusional, but it's like, it's so important to express all of yourself, at least to yourself. And it will be wonderful to do it with a professional therapist, but at least writing it down or whatever you need to do to like give yourself your complete, authentic, no holds barred truth. Like, that to me is one of the most powerful things that anyone can give to themselves. And that is what this Courage to Be Freedom coaching is all about. It's like, no, we're getting free. We're here to tell a different story. And yeah, we're here to tell our truth. We're here to tell a different story, not the lie, not the performance, not the, I'm okay. Sometimes I'm not okay. Sometimes I'm feeling attacked. Sometimes I'm tired of life. I ain't talking about killing myself, but sometimes I get to the point I'm like, this thing is, she working me. She working me. And that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about too. I wanted to talk about that I'm finally learning that we have to, a lot of us, because some of us have been gifted with the ability to let things fall off their shoulders. If you've been blessed with that ability, you are blessed. But some of us, we are hypersensitive, hyper aware, we feel our feels, and life can get very, very, very triggering. And I don't know if we're creating it. I don't know if because we're feeling this, then that's why the things are constantly showing up. But in my experience, as I've talked about before, there tends to be a hyper amount of obstacles and challenges, and a need for me to woosah or drive myself crazy. Now, for most of my life, I was driving myself crazy because, as we've discussed, I did not know the portals or how to overcome the portals, or I didn't know how to utilize them. It was so much stuff going on, so I feel like I was just hemorrhaging in so many different ways, just crying out, help, 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 help. But the beautiful thing about it, I was always working on myself in the process. In the mud, I'm still working on myself. And I always want to come across as a work in progress. Even though I've learned a lot and I could change someone's life, I don't want to be one of those phony balonies who's sitting behind this veil and like, no, my life is beautiful. And I will do my job, and it will be about you. It won't be about me and my mess. But I will be operating as a wounded healer who's healed, but a wounded healer, and I'm nursing my wounds, and I'm growing, and I'm expanding, and I know that I have put in the work on myself, the years of work on myself, and I know so many different ways of healing, and I understand people and human nature and psychology and the street hustle. Now, as I'm saying, I understand the portals now and how to use them, and I can help you or someone else that you know who may need this information. I can help you to get free and to be able to master the portals of life and your career so that you could live that life that you were called to live, that we were all called to live. And I feel like the more that I have aligned with that truth, I feel like I have learned to let go of how the success will show up. I'm not in control. I'm water. I'm flowing. I'm listening. I'm following. But the portals are open. The valves are open and available. And it takes courage to be free like that. It takes courage to get to that place. It takes taking off the veils, as I've possibly mentioned, the rose-colored glasses. But it is possible. It is possible. It is possible to get to that level of success. It is possible. It is divinely possible, and it is all of our right. And I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep talking, because something that I say, a story that I tell, it is designed spiritually from the divine to touch your heart, yours. You know who you are. It is designed to touch your heart. Something I'm saying, something I'm expressing, some energy I'm giving off. It is here to heal, to bless, to enlighten, to recover, to awaken. Not only me, but someone else out there. It's to awaken us. Because I truly stop what I'm doing when Spirit tells me, and I put this camera up here, and I just start talking. So I'm obeying. And that's something that early in my life and in my career, that portal I was not accessing because I wasn't obeying. I felt like I was trying to lead the show. And I am doing the work to not do that anymore. And just follow the flow. Follow the flow. Follow the flow. So this has been a conversation with Dwayne Barnes of The Courage to Be, and I am here to set us all free. I'm here to be a living example of courage, moving through the fear, which is what courage is. You move through the fear, you just keep showing up, you keep publishing, you keep doing what Spirit is calling you to do, and you just see where it leads you. Yes, it's vulnerable. Being free is vulnerable, because when you were in the shackles, you knew where the food was going to come from. You knew everything, but you weren't happy. But when you become free, you're in a sense of vulnerability, because you're essentially following the yellow brick road. But so far, so good, y'all. So far, so good. I'm enjoying it. Feel free to watch some more of my other videos, or subscribe and like and comment Tell me if any of this made sense. Just tell me if any of this made sense. I don't even know. I don't know, but I'm going to publish it because you know who this is for. All right, y'all.